It's Powerback time on the Gutsy Podcast, your 20-minute boost to reclaim and refocus your energy. Get ready to have bursts of clarity, a boost of confidence, and the practical steps you need to make gutsy moves forward. You've got big things to do, so let's get your power back. You know what it feels like to be mentally maxed out, but do you know visually how to tell when you are at your capacity? When we're feeling overwhelmed, we've got way too many things going on, you're not grounded, completely out of your body and managing way too many things, inevitably something gets dropped. And it's not because you don't want to do it, it's because you're already maxed out. You are at capacity. Laundry piles up. The papers that you intended to go through and organize are still sitting there collecting dust. The project that you started and was once really excited about has been sitting there for months. Or maybe getting out of bed is a little bit harder because you haven't been sleeping the best. On today's episode, I'm going to teach you how to visually notice the things that tend to get dropped first. Because when you have a visual cue, you can see these things stacking up in real time in real life. You can then take your power back by pausing, rerouting, and taking care of the things that you need the most. By the way, these are the types of skills that we are learning, we are practicing, and we are integrating inside the Gutsy Collective and then expanding on inside Eerily, the mastermind. Listen, you're not actually stuck. You're certainly not failing. You're simply in transition. You're between who you've been, which is probably a version of you that the world told you that you had to be, that you conformed to, that expectations stacked up and you became what everyone else needed of you. You're between that version of you who did what she had to do and the version who you're becoming. The version of you that goes after what she wants, that prioritizes herself, that communicates her boundaries, that upholds those things, that puts herself at the front of the line instead of the back of it. This is the version of you that you've known that you're meant to be all along, where your truest, deepest, most incredible impact lives and is just waiting to come out. So if you've been feeling kind of restless in your life or your career, dissatisfied or underexpressed, and just have this quiet knowing that something needs to shift, then I can almost guarantee you that one of my programs is going to rock your world in the best of ways. If you've been kind of on the fence, you're not sure which one might be the best for you, let's just book a call together. If you go to lauraora.com/clarity, it's a free 30-minute session for you to just download what's going on. Let's get to the root of something. And then together we'll create a game plan for what works best for you. That link is handy dandy in the show notes. But again, it is lauraora.com/clarity. All right, let's get into this conversation about how to visually tell when you are maxed out. Because listen, when you're overwhelmed, when you've got too many things going on, you're pulled in too many directions, you are just maxed out, you are at capacity, inevitably something is going to get dropped. And it's rarely because you don't want to do it. It's just because you literally don't have an ounce of energy to put towards it. Now, best case scenario, we are preventing getting to that point. Okay. We've got plenty of episodes where we've talked about that. But you know what? You're also a human fucking being and none of this is perfect. And having something to help support you when you're in this phase of the growth is just as important as the prevention. Let me give you a little story around how this came to fruition and why you're getting this episode. So for the last, week or so, my bedroom has just been stacking up, right? Like things that I normally put away pretty quickly have been piling up on my dresser. My clothes that need to be put away are piling up at the foot of my bed. And I do want to add in here, I've got a very, very handy household. My guys do the laundry. I rarely do the laundry, but they know that I like things put away in a certain place. And so Camden will put away the laundry and then pile my stuff up at the end of my bed so that it's ready for me to put away where I want it to go. I'm not one of those, hey, I'm the woman of the house, so everything falls on me situations. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And total sidebar, it is our responsibility to not take on those responsibilities and make that our problem. Sometimes we are the only one, right? If you're a single mama or you are navigating life on your own, okay, there's no one else coming to rescue you. So I just want to honor and recognize that. But if you are in a house where there are other people that are able to contribute, friend, it's our job to help guide and train them on how to do so instead of taking on all those responsibilities and then complaining why we have no help. Okay? Total side conversation there. Back to my story, I'm starting to notice that my shit is stacking up. I've got stuff on my dresser. The piles are, 2 or 3 loads deep now at the foot of my bed. I've got stuff just kind of all over the place. That's just not normal for me. Normally, like my regulated self is clean, is organized, everything has a place. Like that is absolutely a reflection of the inside of my mind. And so I've grown to know that a huge cue that I am maxed out, I am stressed out, I am dysregulated is that when my outer world is messy, that means my inner world is messy. And this honestly happens because like you're just maxed out. Like the idea of putting clothes away might be the fucking straw that breaks the camel's back. You know what I mean? Like it's often these seemingly very simple tasks, these kind of mundane things that happen in the background that you're like, oh, I should just be able to have my shit together. But like when you're dysregulated, when you are not grounded, when you are overwhelmed, you are pulled in way too many directions, you're managing way too much shit. Maybe you've said yes too many times. I'll just slide that across the table as well. That simple task becomes what feels like fucking Mount Everest. And who wants to climb Mount Everest when they're already exhausted and depleted and unmotivated? Exactly. No one. This little thing becomes a huge thing and it's just going to continue. And so what I have learned is, hey, okay, when I have gone too far past my norm, when I've got too much stress going on an ongoing basis, when I'm feeling overwhelmed for more than a few days at a time, right? Like sometimes there's seasons. Sometimes there's things that are happening. Sometimes you're launching something new or making a pivot or a family member needs you or like you had an influx of something. Like shit happens, okay? But what I'm talking about here is the ongoing. Okay, these clothes and this pile up shit has been happening now for more than a week. And for you, it might be a few days, it might be more than a week, it might be more than a month, right? Like you have to get to know what your timing is. Like for me, I know if it's more than a week, definitely if we're getting it 2 weeks, okay, hold up, pause, something's going on here. This now becomes what I call a visual cue. Because what happens if we're not aware of this, it just keeps going. Right? It builds up, it gets bigger, it gets louder, it gets noisier, it gets messier, and that's just adding fuel to the fire. We might as well just throw a gas can on a damn bonfire. Having a visual cue, being able to actually physically see or notice where your life has come to a halt is going to help you say, oh, there's something that I need. There's something that I need here. I can visually see this in real time stacking up. This is now my cue to say, there's something that I need. There's something that I've been putting off. There is something that I've been neglecting of myself. What do I need in this moment? So when it comes to all of this stuff stacking up in my bedroom, I'm realizing this week, I'm like, okay, I can see it. I can see the visual pile up, which means my brain is messy right now. What do I need? Like, what is going on in me? What do I need to let go of? What do I need to release? What do I need to finish? And what I came to realize was I've just been thinking a lot, which is not abnormal, but I've not been executing or giving it a home. So at time of recording, we're here now at the end of the year. And so my brain is naturally just going hardcore into planning and mapping out my next year. And so I've got all these ideas like pouring into me. I've got all this stuff coming in. I've got all these pieces that feel disjointed and what am I going to do here? And how am I going to do this? And what time of the year am I going to run that course? And it's a lot. It's a lot of great things, but a lot of anything is still a lot. And so I'm realizing that I have my sponge in my brain is too full and I've got a leakage, right? Like I've got all this stuff starting to kind of pour out. I need to give this a space. And so yesterday I created a calendar because I couldn't find anything online that didn't have frillies or flowers or just dry as shit, like perk of having a graphic design background is when I can't find what I want, I just make my own. So that will always come in handy. So I made a quarterly calendar. I started to take all of the pieces that were in my brain and started to give them a home. I started to move them around. Like I wrung out the sponge. And not just talking about it, like actually physically writing it down. I'm the type of person, like, I want a pen and I want a piece of paper. I want to scribble. I want to move shit around. I want to scratch stuff out. I want to use whiteout. Like, I need to scratch it out on paper. And after a couple of hours, I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like my brain is so much lighter. I'm not worried about forgetting this shit anymore. I'm not thinking about it 24/7. I'm not questioning what am I going to do and how am I going to do it. I met with my business coach to help me create a plan. Like, all of a sudden, I feel like I can have a nice, big, deep breath. And so wouldn't you know, this morning, after I finished some of my morning stuff, I like to start my mornings very slow. I like to drink my coffee. I tend to be way more creative in that time frame. So I applied to speak on a bunch of podcasts. And as I was walking back into my room just to get ready for the day, I looked at all this stuff and I was like, oh, let's just put this away real quick. And wouldn't you know, in about, 12 minutes, maybe, the piles on my dresser were put away. The clothes were hung up. I made my bed to the way that I like it. Listen, I'm never going to be the person that makes her bed to the fullest every single day. So if anybody's been trying to make you feel like, hey, if you don't start your day by making your bed, you're fucking up your day, I'm here to tell you that I never make my bed. There's like, the only time I fully make my bed is when I travel, because when I come home, I like it like waiting for me, all like lovely and perfect. But on a day to day, I just have no interest in it. I clean it up. I tuck it in, I make it not a mess, but it's not perfect. So I did my bed the way that I do my bed, and I stopped and I looked around and I was like, oh, look at all that. It's all done. It's all organized. And then I had the aha moment. I was like, damn it, Laura. Your inner world is now reflecting your outer world again, but this time from a regulated state. I feel grounded. I feel calm. I feel organized. I feel like I have my hands wrapped around things. And all because I noticed, okay, my shit's building up. This is something that's visually telling me that, hey, there's something that you need. I recognized what that thing was. I did the action. And then all of a sudden, it's like I came back online. Again, in a perfect world, I would have recognized this sooner. I would have been like, oh, you've got too much going on in your mind. But honestly, when I'm in creation mode, sometimes it needs to build up like that. There's honestly something about the pressure of it that like lights a fire under my ass. And I've just learned how to work with it. There's a fine line between it taking over versus me controlling it. So, a little bit of a dance here, but I'm not kicking my ass about this. Okay. And this is what I want to encourage for you as well, is like, don't take this visual cue as a sign that you're fucking up or that you're failing or, oh, here I go again, because the brain's naturally going to want to make you feel bad about this, when really this is simply another way for you to take your power back, because inevitably something's going to slip. Inevitably, you're going to go back to some old habits. Inevitably, you're going to get wrapped up in something or a project or a feeling or a situation. So instead of feeling like an asshat about it, let's just have a tool to work with it. We don't need to shame it. We don't need to blame it. We just need to know how to work with it. Oh, all my shit's piled up again. Okay, well, that clearly means that I need to do something internally. Let's keep this incredibly simple, okay? This is the part where I give you the method. So if you're not already writing, here's your chance. The first thing is to just get incredibly aware and notice what gets wonky or out of control or piles up when you are maxed out. These are tendencies, okay? What tends to pile up? What tends to get out of control? What tends to get messy? What happens when you're maxed out? What's usually one of the first things to go? For me, it's shit piling up. For you, it might be lingering open-ended projects. Maybe your car starts to get messy. Maybe your emails stack up. Whatever it is for you is yours. Okay? Again, we're not shaming it. We're not blaming it. We're just noticing it. Because when you create a relationship with this tendency, my gosh, you can form a friendship with it instead of fighting it. Now, when you know what is piling up, what is usually the first thing to go when you are maxed out, you can see it crystal fucking clear. This is actually now working with you instead of against you. It's your kind of mind's way of noticing, oh shit, there's something I need here. And this is brilliant and beautiful and simple because it's bringing awareness to it. You can't change what you don't notice. Okay. So being able to notice this thing, whatever's piling up, whatever's getting put on the back burner, whatever's getting dropped or missed or ignored, this is your visual cue to say, okay, there's something I need to shift here. And so the first step is understanding what that tendency is. The second is pausing and noticing it. Oh, I see you. And asking, what do I need here? What is fueling this? What have I ignored? What do I truly need physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally? What have I been putting on the back burner? What's one of my needs that I have been just putting off continuously? Where do I need to prioritize? Where do I need to remember me in all of this? And when you pause long enough to ask yourself this question and get a little bit curious about it, I would bet that at least 9 times out of 10, something is going to pop up front and center for you. The real handy dandy trick here is the action you take after that. I could notice that the sponge in my brain is too full and then continue to pour more shit into it and do nothing about it. Guess what? Those piles are going to get bigger. But instead, I realized the sponge is full. I need to wring it out onto some paper so I can see it. That opens things up. I mean, almost instantaneously, I have the energy and the capacity to handle the shit that I had no energy for before. So the last really important piece of this is after you get really clear about what it is that you need or what you've been ignoring or putting on the back burner or you really need to prioritize, is what are you going to do about it? Are you going to ask for help? Are you going to block some time in your schedule to handle this thing? Are you going to say no to something that you previously were going to say yes to, even though in your body you were like, I don't want to fucking do this? Are you going to finish a project that you've been just dabbling with and going in and out of that's just taken so much time and energy with? That action, that gutsy move is essential. That's how you change it. That's how you give yourself capacity back. That's how you get back into control. It's how you get regulated again. Because we can notice shit all day long, but if we don't do anything about it, we continue. And maybe even worse, now we're choosing to continue. This is going to be one of those situations where now that you've heard this, you're never going to unhear it. And sorry, but also not at all, because this is such a huge, huge, huge opportunity for you to get back into control with yourself, to feel more regulated, to take your power back. It's such a simple tool that has such enormous opportunity for you to just feel better in everything that you do. So to be honest, I don't want you to unsee it because that means you have the opportunity to grow. And if you want to add a little spice to this, a little fire, a little depth to it, these are the types of things, again, that we are working on inside the Gutsy Collective. We are building these skills. We are building the foundations for you to have that confidence, for you to be able to recognize these things. And the accountability is building, my friend. And when you get stuck, we come up with solutions to get past it. That link to book a free session with me is in the show notes. Again, it's lauraora.com/clarity. I would love to hear what your visual cue is. Like, what is your thing? What is that tendency? Come find me on social media. My handle is @thatlauraora across all the platforms. Tell me what your cue is. And until I see you next time, my friend, stay gutsy.